Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast.
Today we're looking at New Era Energy and Digital.
As usual, before we start, subscribe, like, and comment to this video to support the show. And if there's a specific company you want us to look into, leave it in the comments below.
So let's get into the analysis of this one. It's quite a story.
It really is. We should probably start with the pivot. I mean, this company used to be New Era Helium.
Right. Entirely different business. They were focused on, traditional energy, oil, gas, helium. They had assets like the Pecos Slope field in New Mexico.
A very old school energy play.
Totally. And then August 2025, they just changed everything. New name, new strategy.
And they jumped into probably the hottest sector possible. Next generation digital infrastructure.
You can't get much hotter than that. They're targeting AI data centers.
So what's their angle? They're not trying to be the next AWS, are they?
No, their pitch is a bit more specific. They want to offer powered land and powered shells.
Okay, so that's like a turnkey solution, right?
That's the idea. They want to provide the land and, crucially, the power infrastructure so that other companies can deploy their data centers faster.
Which, to be fair, is a real bottleneck.
Yeah.
Getting enough power for these AI centers is a huge problem.
It's the biggest problem. So if you can offer a site that's already got the high voltage electricity ready to go, that's a very compelling pitch.
That's the theoretical pro. A big one.
But this is where the theory, kind of collides with reality.
And it collides hard. Let's start with the basics. Financials.
Right. Or the lack of them. We couldn't find any recent revenue, no earnings, no real forward guidance on this new digital business.
It's a black box. You can't assess the business if you can't see the numbers. It's not an investment at that point. It's just pure speculation.
And then there's the operational side of it. This is really something.
You're talking about the number of employees.
I am. The company has 7 employees.
7. Let that sink in. Not 70, not 700. 7 people to execute a pivot into one of the most complex, capital-intensive industries in the world.
How do you even begin? Think of the engineers, the security, the site managers you'd need for just one data center.
You can't. It suggests they haven't really started building the team, let alone the infrastructure.
And you're trying to play in a space dominated by giants, Google, Amazon, Microsoft. They spend tens of billions a year on this.
Which brings up the whole moat critique. What's their competitive advantage here?
Well, they'd say it's their land and power assets.
But that's a commodity, isn't it? What stops a huge fund from just buying the land next door and building a bigger substation?
Nothing at all. There's no proprietary tech, no IP we can see that would protect them. It feels like a great idea on a PowerPoint slide.
And the market seems to agree with that assessment. The technical picture is just ugly.
Brutal is the word I use. I mean, we saw the stock dive almost 20% just on news about leadership changes.
And that was nothing compared to what happened when the lawsuit news hit.
A 41% drop in one day.
When a stock falls 41% in a single session, that's not just volatility. That's a vote of no confidence. It's panic.
And you can see that reflected in the overall sentiment. Every headline, every piece of analysis we looked at was just deeply bearish.
The weighted sentiment score was something like -0.45 to -0.75, right?
Yeah, in that range. Which basically means everyone writing about this company is saying, stay away.
And the people who should know best, the insiders, what are they doing?
They're selling. Insider selling was specifically flagged as a reason for the stock's volatility.
It's the ultimate red flag. If the people running the company don't have faith, why should anyone else?
And there are no analyst price targets, no real institutional support to put a floor under the price. It's in free fall.
Which leads us directly to the why. This isn't just a pivot that's not working. This is a company in what looks like a full-blown crisis.
A crisis on multiple fronts. We're talking about major legal and management issues here.
Let's break them down. You've got sort of Threat A, which is all the shareholder and securities fraud stuff.
And then Threat B, which is the big regulatory problem coming from the state of New Mexico.
Okay, so starting with Threat A. The credibility of the CEO is under serious fire.
Extremely serious. There are allegations about a history of running penny stocks into the ground.
And reports of sketchy related party dealings. That kind of history makes it very hard to trust someone with a new, complex venture.
Especially when you look at how money has allegedly been spent.
This is the stock promotion angle.
Exactly. There are reports that the company spent way more on promoting its stock than it did on, its actual operations.
That just screams that the priority was the share price, not building a real business.
And that's why the law firms are circling.
Right. We're talking about big names, Howard G. Smith, Frank R. Cruz.
These aren't small shops. They're investigating the company for alleged securities fraud, false promises, the whole works.
And the paid stock promotion is a key part of that investigation, misleading shareholders.
When you have multiple firms all launching investigations at the same time, it's a very, very bad sign.
And as if that's not enough, then you have threat B.
The New Mexico lawsuit.
This one comes from their old life as a helium and gas company.
It does. The state of New Mexico Attorney General is suing the CEO and some associates.
And what's the allegation?
An alleged fraudulent oil and gas scheme. It's tied to 87 old wells.
87. And the big risk there is environmental cleanup, right?
That's the multi-million-dollar question. The state is worried about who is on the hook for cleaning up these wells.
So you're trying to raise money for a futuristic AI business.
While you're being sued by a state over potential environmental contamination from your past business, the optics are terrible.
And the cost of just fighting these things.
Yeah.
Legal fees alone must be a huge drain on their resources.
A massive drain. Money that absolutely should be going into this pivot, if it's even real.
Okay, so to be fair, what's the company's side of the story? They must have a defense.
They do. They're calling the New Mexico lawsuit baseless and uninformed.
And what about the 87 wells?
They claim the wells are immaterial and that they were already in the process of divesting them anyway.
So a standard, nothing to see here, we're focused on the future defense.
Pretty much. But the market isn't buying it. That 41% drop tells you everything you need to know about how credible investors find that defense.
So when you stack it all up, the risk versus any potential catalyst, the scale seems pretty unbalanced.
It's incredibly skewed toward risk. You have active existential threats. The securities fraud investigations could be devastating.
And the New Mexico lawsuit carries a potentially huge financial liability. These are not small problems.
They're company-defining problems, and they make any potential good news, any catalyst, feel really speculative.
Like, let's say they announce a customer for a data center.
Who would it be? What major, reputable company would sign a huge contract with a firm whose management is fighting fraud allegations on multiple fronts?
It damages their ability to actually execute the pivot. The credibility crisis becomes a business crisis.
It already is.
Yeah.
This isn't a growth company anymore. It's a distressed asset. It's a bet on them winning these legal battles, not on them building data centers.
The core conflict is it's overwhelming. The AI story is great in a vacuum.
But it's completely overshadowed by the total lack of recent financial data and these massive active legal threads.
It all comes back to trust. And right now, there's just zero reason to trust the narrative. The 7 employees, the insiders selling, the lawsuits.
Yeah.
It all points in one direction.
So I think that leaves a really important question for anyone watching this unfold.
Go on.
Given this huge legal and credibility problem, I mean, it's a chasm, what specific material announcement would it take to fix this?
You mean like a contract?
Yes, but what kind? It couldn't just be a press release. You'd need a verifiable blue-chip customer with real dollar figures attached to even begin to counteract a 41% single-day risk. What would that number have to be?
That's a great question to think about. What would it take to make you believe again? Make sure you subscribe and let us know what you want us to look into next time.